When we think about protecting our aging brains, most of us imagine crossword puzzles, fish oil, maybe a high-end supplement promising sharper recall or delayed decline. But what if the most powerful brain supplement isn't something you can buy in a bottle, but something you breathe? Clean air, it turns out, might be the most underrated neuroprotective intervention of the 21st century. It doesn't come with slick branding or celebrity endorsements. It just quietly protects your neurons one lungful at a time. The link between air pollution and cognitive impairment is no longer speculation. Mounting research shows that long-term exposure to fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, and O2, and ozone accelerates brain aging, shrinks gray matter volume, and impairs memory and executive function in older adults. And the effects aren't minor. We're talking about meaningful reductions in thinking speed, memory retention, and mental flexibility, symptoms that mimic the early stages of dementia and, in some cases, even increase the risk of being diagnosed with it. This raises a startling possibility that for millions of elderly people, some portion of their forgetfulness, confusion, and cognitive struggle might not be age-related at all, but pollution-related. Their decline wasn't written in their DNA. It was written into the neighborhoods they lived in, the highways they lived beside, the decades of breathing in the slow drip of combustion byproducts, metal particulates, and urban haze. Fortunately, there's a hopeful twist in this otherwise bleak tale. Because if pollution can damage the brain, reducing pollution may actively protect it. In other words, clean air isn't just the absence of harm, it's a form of medicine. Several large-scale, population-based studies have demonstrated this. One analysis of Medicare data found that older adults living in areas where PM 2.5 levels declined over a decade had a significantly slower rate of cognitive decline and even lower dementia incidence compared to those in areas where pollution levels stayed high. The benefits were strongest for those with no major comorbidities, suggesting that the aging brain is highly responsive to environmental shifts. It's not just about avoiding further damage. Cleaner air can quite literally slow the clock. And unlike most cognitive interventions, this one doesn't require you to change your diet, download an app, or remember to take a pill every morning. It requires something far more structural: good policy. Things like stricter emissions standards, greener urban planning, expanded public transit, clean energy investments, and the creation of green buffers between roadways and residential zones. These aren't just climate actions, they're cognitive health interventions. Yet despite this compelling evidence, clean air remains almost invisible in public health conversations about aging. We fret over whether our parents are taking enough vitamin B12 or playing enough brain games, but we don't ask if the air in their neighborhood meets whose safety standards. We install stair lifts, but ignore the traffic corridor outside. The irony is brutal. We're investing heavily in long-term care facilities, memory clinics, and dementia research, while allowing invisible neurotoxins to flow freely around the people we're trying to help. And the cognitive cost of dirty air isn't limited to the very old. The brain doesn't suddenly become vulnerable at age 70. Cognitive aging is a long, slow process that begins in midlife, or even earlier, and pollution acts as a lifelong accelerant. By the time we notice the symptoms, the damage has already been quietly accumulating for decades. So if we're serious about preserving cognitive function into old age, maybe we should think less about nootropics and more about NO2 levels. Clean air isn't just a climate win or a respiratory health fix. It's a form of preventive neurology. And in many cases, it could outperform the best over-the-counter brain supplements on the market. No snake oil, no marketing gimmicks, just molecular clarity. We need to start treating air quality as a cognitive health metric, especially for the elderly. Every neighborhood deserves brain-safe air, and every policymaker should recognize that cleaner skies might translate directly into clearer minds, fewer memory clinics, and better quality of life for aging populations. Because if the brain is our most precious asset, then the air that feeds it, quietly and constantly, might be the most powerful therapy we've been ignoring.